हेलो बच्चों, हाउ आर यू? वेलकम टू Amazon Academy. हाय आशुतोष. हाय पोरस. हेलो. हाय पीडी. पीडी इज एंड हाय टीएस. फटाफट give your names, quick attendance before we start today's topic of SHM. A very interesting topic, and it is for class 11 students. Are all of you of class 11? Hi Priya. Hello. Hi Siddhi. How was your exam? Hi Tushar. Hello. This is primarily a micro course, right? Yeah. So we'll be starting off in a couple of minutes. And how are you all doing? So are all of you of class 11th or 12th? Give you introduction quickly. Hi, hello, hello, VA, hello, RY. Okay. So in order to, yeah, before we start off with the exact topic, let me also tell you what we are going to, what is the intention of this micro course. Okay, so before we start, this is about myself. My name is Ashish Gupta Bacho. I hope you all, most of you know. Some of you might be new as well. Hi, Saggy. Okay, good evening to all. So, okay, good. Siddhi is in 11th. Good, good, good. I thought you attended some crash course, so I felt that you were in 12th maybe. Good evening, VA. So, I know BTech from IIT Bombay. I had a decent rank in marks, बच्चों. I have a good experience of teaching physics. But बच्चों घमंड बिल्कुल भी नहीं है ना? So what is घमंड? घमंड is maybe you can say bad ego, है ना? Something like that. So I don't have it. So what are the life class best practices, बच्चों? Uh, Okay. So live class best practices is join classes on time, obviously attend all classes, revise previous topics, be polite, never spam, and use my doubt section, okay, in order to ask doubts. Uh, what are the system requirements? So in browser you can use either Chrome or Firefox. We are currently not supporting Safari or Edge. Please use Android version 6 and above. And obviously you need some internet speed. So the class will run smoothly on 5 Mbps. Now, bacho, what is the intention of this JEE micro course? If you look at this description, so we have identified certain important chapters which will help in your grade 11th and also build some strong foundation going into 12th. So SHM is one of those chapters, right? It's extensively used in solving questions based on electrostatics. So we are going to discuss SHM and we are going to devote 10 lectures. Okay, so we are going to discuss SHM in quite detail and we are going to discuss basically everything which involves simple harmonic motion. Okay, and also we are going to discuss wave motion and we are also devoting around 10 lectures, in fact 10 exact lectures for wave. So what are the important segments of this course? It will help in revising previous topics. By revising in the class you can also practice problems, and DPP will also be given like the earlier times. There are certain doubt classes to solve queries related to the chapters that you will also be made to know in subsequent some classes. Okay. Yeah, so these goggles are not exactly those goggles which you are thinking. So what happened that I was teaching, taking a lot of classes, and tears started coming out of my eyes. Earlier I thought that these were in jest, these are happy tears, but then I found out that the tears are because my eyes were feeling a little dry and something like that. So that is why to save my eyes I started using UV glasses, no other reason. Okay. So 4th March physics paper is for SS. So all the best, beta. Good job, right? So give your best, and prepare well. Okay. So beta, for TS for 12th class guidance, we can obviously take up these type of questions in crash course. So tomorrow early morning 9 o'clock we will take up this query and we are going to discuss, basically we are discussing every day about these things. So we will definitely take up this query tomorrow. DPP is basically बच्चों daily practice problems. Okay, daily practice problems which you can access from our app, right? Now, what is the lesson structure? So, बच्चों, lesson structure we are going to discuss what is periodic and oscillatory motion. Very easy. Simple harmonic motion we are going to understand what it means. We are also going to discuss equation of SHM, and we are going to discuss terminologies associated with simple harmonic motion, right? So here let us focus on the chapter now, right? And I belong to a place called Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Okay. Uh, no problem, no problem. Attend any of the classes of crash course, whether in the morning or in the afternoon. There are so many classes. So like this class is purely in English. Similarly, there is a crash course class, I think tomorrow 1 p.m., which will be purely in English. So you can attend that as well if you are in 12th and 13th. Now, let us go on to discussion of periodic motion. Extremely easy term associated with SHM, which you must have studied for n number of 10 times, where n is greater than 10, I guess. And it must be also a question in your school exams when you were very small. So, periodic motion can be defined as how? How can we define periodic motion? Bachcho, can anybody tell me a quick answer to this? Do you know me? AR. So AR, who are you? I haven't got you. I think I haven't got your name. So VA is Varun. I have not got your name. To and fro motion is periodic motion. Okay, beta. That is not exactly the definition of periodic motion. This is probably definition of something else, not periodic, right? So motion that repeats itself after a particular interval of time. Sure. Great job. SS and PD. So obviously periodic motion can be defined as motion that repeats itself after a particular interval of time, right? Example. Give me some examples. Give me some examples, bachcho. Give me some quick examples of periodic motion. Quickly. I think this is something which you must all be very aware of, right? So you must be very, 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 very quick to response. Minute hand. Okay. Minute hand of clock. Whatever you will say, I'll try to write down if they are correct. Minute hand of clock and broken clock, nahi, clock, right? Circular motion. Not all circular motions need to be periodic. You need to give me a good motion which for sure is periodic. Simple pendulum, that's good. Pendulum, simple pendulum. And what else? Earth's rotation. Great. Earth's rotation. Great job. So tell me, bachcho, I think usually all of you must be taking your dinner around 9 p.m. So suppose if I am somebody who is taking my meal, my dinner at 9 p.m. every day. So is my motion a periodic motion? Is it a periodic motion that when I take my meal, my dinner at 9 p.m. daily? So is that a periodic motion? So tomorrow again I'll take at 9 p.m. and then day after tomorrow, and it goes on like this. Is it a periodic motion? So first of all, you have to think. That what exactly is motion. Okay. So motion is something which involves parameters of motion. You just cannot say that just because something is happening periodically in itself that will represent a periodic motion, because this event does not get any parameters of motion as such. So we won't talk about such nonsense as periodic motion. Got it? So such kind of things can only be taken as events, but they are not something which can be called as a motion, right? Does it make sense? For sure. Okay. So we cannot say such things as periodic motion. Although simple pendulum, yeah, it can be a periodic motion, because it will keep on rotating about this point and keep on repeating itself. The motion will keep repeating itself after a particular interval of time, right? What about oscillatory motion? Again, to and fro motion can be taken as a oscillatory motion. To and fro motion is oscillatory motion. Now, what is so special about oscillatory motion is that oscillatory motion are also periodic. So that makes it very special. So periodic motion, which is to and fro nature. The greatest example is simple pendulum, right? Greatest example, so entertaining. When you see simple pendulum actually, oscillating to and fro, it gives you a different high, right? You feel so good about physics. Maybe some of you might feel bad about physics, but I think it's a naturally good subject, right? The best subject in the world. for sure. But it depends who's teaching, isn't it? So if you get a good teacher, then physics becomes the best subject. If you don't get it, then physics is not the bad subject. The teacher is probably not that good, isn't it? Right? Physics is something which should be taught beautifully, and one should feel that like you. I didn't want anybody of you to what should I say, tarif karna, but yeah, it happens naturally, isn't it? So yeah, now again we come to the point that are all periodic motions oscillatory? Not at all. Not at all. We cannot say that. So we can write it down over here that all periodic motions, all periodic motions are not oscillatory, are not oscillatory, but all oscillatory motions are periodic. Okay, so that makes it very interesting to remember. Yeah, vice versa is and vice versa. We cannot write and vice versa over here. All periodic motions are not oscillatory, but all oscillatory motions are periodic. Something like that, it will be fine. Okay, so basic idea is that you must remember these two terms, and then we will go to our chapter name of simple harmonic motion. Okay, and we will discuss certain important terms before we go on to exact meaning of simple harmonic motion. The first of that term is mean position. Please focus now. Mean position. Mean position, that is also called the equilibrium position, right? So bachcho, in mean position or equilibrium position, we can say that net force on the body oblique system is 0 for linear motion, right? And if it is performing angular motion, this is one more thing which you must remember, that net torque of the body, on the body, in fact, on the body or system, whatever we are assuming, is 0 for angular motion. So we'll discuss about it. We'll take up a couple of examples based on linear and angular motion. So bachcho, if we take a very, very popular example of spring mass system, that is the most famous example of a spring mass system that we consider as linear motion. So bachcho, what is the mean position of the spring mass system? Now think about it, that this mass is experiencing a force because of spring, whereas mg and normal are always cancelling out each other when it is on a horizontal plane. So we can say that in the event spring is at natural length, suppose this is at natural length, suppose spring is at natural length, so force exerted by spring on the block is 0, and this position will be called the mean or equilibrium position. Do you understand? Please check. Is it okay? What about the mean position when the spring mass system is vertical? Will still the mean position be when spring is at natural length? Think about it. Where will the mean position of this system lie? Where the system involves only a block over here, where will be the mean position of this block? Will it be when spring is at natural length? And this class is for 11th, so don't mind it if I'm asking very easy questions. I want to make sure that whoever is observing, whoever is listening, whoever is attending these classes becomes very, 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 very good and expert in solving questions on SHM. Okay, so that is my intention. So bachcho, obviously know this, if this is the natural length, then this cannot be the mean position over here, because it is experiencing a force mg downwards, right? Whereas the spring force is 0. So it will basically elongate the spring in such a manner, if this is the mean position, then we can say that mg will be balanced by kx naught, and for this elongation x naught, this corresponding elongation x naught, you will get the mean position of this block. Is it fine? Yeah, x equal to mg by k. Great job. Okay, any doubt up till this point? I hope this is all clear. This is all nice and clear. There is no issues in this. I hope it is so. So bachcho, let us also discuss the mean position for example, we take a pendulum. Uh, okay, so SS, the thing is that mean position for a system which is performing linear motion. Linear means one dimension. Linear means only in one dimension. Cartesian coordinate one dimension. So, बच्चों, if it is performing motion along x, then the net force on this mass is zero when spring is at natural length, right? And for vertical spring, net force on the mass will be zero when mg is balanced by spring force. So if spring force is equal to kx naught, which you must all be aware that spring force is kx, then for x naught equal to mg by k, you will get the mean position corresponding to this elongation of spring. Is it okay now? SS? Because if the spring is not stretched, then the force, net force on the block is not zero. Yeah, good. Next. So when we are talking of simple pendulum, bachcho, simple pendulum. So for simple pendulum, observe its motion. Okay, observe its motion, and we can also say over here that there are two forces acting on the pendulum, mg and tension, right? Mg and tension, and they create havoc on the motion of this pendulum, right? Because of their, most of the times they are not opposite to each other, and that is why it has such a wonderful motion. But observe tension and torque of tension about O. Now torque of tension about O is always zero. But what about torque of mg? So bachcho, torque of mg is not zero at this point, right? Because mg has a r perpendicular. So torque of mg will be zero only when the bob is at the central point. We can say this point, if this is P, then over here this situation is the mean position. Is it okay? Is it fine? Any problem in this? Torque of mg is zero at P only, and that is when the position will be mean position. Otherwise there will be torque of mg, so there we cannot say any other position as the mean. Fine? Any doubt in this? Anything you want to ask? So what is extreme position? Can anybody define extreme position for me? Can anybody help me in defining extreme position? How should I define the extreme position? How should I define the extreme position? Velocity is zero or minimum? I think you will find in all observation, all situations that velocity is zero. But just to remain safe, because you can be in other frames of reference, what we can say that speed is minimum. Most of the times, 99.99% times in your exams, even in JEE, speed has to be zero at extreme. But you can be in some other frame of reference as well. So basically, we can say that just to remain safe, that speed is minimum possible. Okay. So extreme position is that position where speed is zero, or we can say minimum, right? Minimum possible during the motion. Right? So bachcho, let us identify the extreme positions. So can I say that over here V is 0 and over here also V is 0. So these two positions are nothing but bachcho extreme. So this is extreme and this is also extreme. Okay. And for this case, spring block system, also we can say that wherever you suppose you compress the spring and leave the mass at this point, and over here it's V is 0, then this becomes the extreme position. This will also go towards right, and there will be another extreme position over here. That's something which we will discuss later, that what happens at over here and what else happens. But yeah, we can say right now that positions where speed is 0 or minimum possible during the motion, that is extreme position. Okay. Now let us come on to another important word, restoring force, right? Restoring force. Now what does the word restore mean? Bachcho, in English, restore means that something which was, which is taken away is being given back, something like that, restore word. So what we say over here, that when a block or system, we can say, is displaced from its mean position, force that tries to bring block or system back to its equilibrium position or mean position is restoring force. ठीक है. Now बच्चों, when we talk about a spring mass system, let us see what is happening. Now suppose this is the natural length of spring. Now please concentrate. So this is the natural length, so this becomes the mean position or the equilibrium position. Now बच्चों, if we compress the spring by distance x, then obviously the spring force will be applied towards right. Okay, spring force is applied towards right, and this is the only force which is acting. This is the only force which is acting on this mass, whereas mg and normal are going to balance each other out. So we can say over here that the restoring force is equal to spring force. Okay, please check, is it okay? Is it fine? Is there any doubt in this? Is it okay? And I can also add torque along with force everywhere where I have written force, right? I can also include torque over here. Now if I take the case of simple pendulum, bachcho, can anybody tell me what is the restoring torque over here? If I displace it by angle theta, then what is the restoring torque over here? Anybody? Mass is m, so this is force mg and tension force is T. What is the restoring force assuming length of the rope is L? Anybody? Bachcho, I really expect this answer from you all, because I sincerely feel that you can calculate the value of torque by yourself. Kya baat hai? Good job, SS. Nice. MGL sin theta, good. And SS is MGL sin theta, mg sin theta into R. I think DG you want to say L, right? Mg into L sin theta, because you see, if I take the line of force, extend the line of force, then the R perpendicular is L sin theta. So restoring torque will be equal to mg into L sin theta. Please check, is it fine? Yeah, good. Now we can also discuss finally about SHM. So what exactly is SHM, sir? What is SHM? So bachcho, SHM is actually of two types, right? So the first type I can say this as linear SHM. Okay, first type is linear SHM. So in linear SHM we say that if restoring force is proportional to minus x, and this is basically net restoring force, it is basically net restoring force is proportional to minus x on, and this is on mass or block, whatever you are considering, body basically, then motion is linear SHM. Okay, and we also have to remember, and it's extremely important, that what is x over here? X is displacement from mean position. Now this is so interesting, this is becoming really interesting, and there is a reason why we are studying it as a separate chapter. If it was a normal motion, we could have studied it in kinematics. Why we are studying it separately? So obviously there is something very special going on over here, that the net restoring force is not constant, it is basically varying with time, varying with x, therefore acceleration is also varying with x, and therefore we can say that this is a non-uniform accelerated motion, and a very special motion for which we are going to get the equation of motion as well. So what will happen, bachcho, over here is that we can say that we have already written this out, and we can write down about angular SHM as well. if restoring torque is proportional to minus theta, then motion is angular SHM. So we are going to discuss about angular SHM in a little bit more time. Right, 3-4 after 3-4 classes we are going to get angular SHM. But for linear SHM, bachcho, we are going to discuss a simple case, the easiest possible case. We are going to take the example of that. And if you observe spring mass system, bachcho, suppose this is the mean position. And if you compress it by x, right? So the mass comes over here and the spring force acts on the block towards right. So the restoring force over here, bachcho, is equal to what? Restoring force over here is equal to minus kx. Think about it. Spring force is minus kx. And bachcho, this is nothing but the net restoring force on the body as well. And since we can say that since restoring force is proportional to minus x, therefore motion is SHM. Please think, please try to understand. Is it okay? This is such a beautiful way of finally getting what SHM is. You know what is restoring force, and if you understand how the restoring force comes out, and then you just have to check that what is the net restoring force on the body. If that is proportional to minus x, then the motion becomes SHM. Such a wonderful thing, right? Is there any doubt till now? Because then we are just going to derive the equation now. Okay, let us derive the equation of SHM. No, then also it will be negative beta. If we are expanding spring, that's a good question you asked, but even in that case, it will be negative x only, because you can see from this diagram, if this is the mean position, bachcho, and this is basically x that you are referring to, then the spring force will act towards left, not right. So if this is the spring force and x is towards right, over here restoring force again comes out to be minus kx. So it does not matter whether you are compressing the spring or elongating the spring. It will always be proportional to minus x. Okay? Is it fine now? Let us derive the equation of SHM. So restoring force equal to minus kx, bachcho, and restoring force is the net force, which we can write as mass into net acceleration of the body. And bachcho, a over here comes out to be minus k upon m into x. And for simplicity, we are mentioning omega as root k by m. What is omega? We will study in a bit of time. K and m are, basically they are constants, right? We have to find x as a function of time. So let us try. Acceleration is bachcho minus omega square x. And we can say that it's a equation which is not known to many. It's a secret equation. A is equal to v dv by dx. We are going to apply it and we are going to perform integration. Right? So, bachcho, think about a point jahan pe you know the value of v. Can anybody tell me at what x will the v be equal to 0? Bachcho, amplitude. I hope it rings a bell. The name rings a bell. Amplitude. So amplitude is the maximum displacement from mean position, which is the extreme position itself. So we'll write it down later. But yeah, v will be 0 when x is capital A, and we have to find x at corresponding velocity v. So when we put the limits, it comes out to be v square by 2 minus 0 is equal to minus omega square x square minus a square divided by 2. You can remove this, then v square is equal to omega square into a square minus x square, and therefore v is equal to, bachcho, plus minus omega root a square minus x square. Any doubt up till now, bachcho? This v stands for velocity of the block, yeah, mass, what we are considering. Omega is, we are going to discuss it later, amplitude is a, x is the displacement from mean position. Is there anything which you want to ask? Is it okay? Because one more integration will give us the value of x. So if we write, bachcho, v as dx by dt, if we write v as dx by dt, and yeah, So bachcho, this is for linear motion right now, but we can convert and use the same form for angular motion. It won't be difficult. We can derive it during simple pendulum. We will derive during simple pendulum, and because over there displacement will come as angular displacement, right? Y plus minus beta. I think it's a question of maths, right? X square is equal to 9. So what is x equal to? What is x equal to? Plus 3, minus 3, or plus minus 3? Anybody? I hope you know this, that x will be equal to plus minus 3. Because if you square minus 3, you will still get the value of 9. Okay, so if you only remember 3, then probably it's a new day for you. The answer will be plus minus 3. So I have basically made you aware of a small mathematical trick. It's not even physics, it's pure maths, right? So that is why plus minus sign comes over here. And when we use it for dx by dt, I am only considering positive sign because it will only create a phase difference if I take a minus sign. And what exactly is phase difference, I'll let you know. There will be a phase constant which will be different. No other thing will happen. Okay, so that is why I'm only considering the positive term. So dx upon root of a square minus x square bachcho is equal to omega dt. We now have to perform integration. Any idea of what this integration will be? Anybody bachcho? What is integration of dx upon root a square minus x square? If any of our 12th class friends are listening, you all must be aware of this integration. Sorry, you all must be aware of this integration. Anybody bachcho? Any idea? What is integration of dx upon root of x square a square minus x square? Kya baat? Good job SS. Sine inverse. Great. So we can say that bachcho, this is basically equal to sine inverse x by a, and we have to still put the limits x naught to x is equal to omega t, right? So this will be equal to sine inverse x by a minus sine inverse x naught by a is equal to omega t. Now this is a constant and we consider this constant as phi, right? So this will give us the value of sine inverse x by a as omega t plus phi, and we can write down very beautifully that x by a is equal to sine omega t plus phi, and therefore x is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. Please check. Is it understood how the derivation is there? Kya baat hai yaar? This is nothing but the equation of SHM. We are going to discuss everything. We are going to discuss what is A, what is omega, what is phi, what is phase. We are going to discuss that. Don't worry. But yeah, this is the equation of SHM. Such a beautiful derivation. A is the amplitude. Omega is called angular frequency. We are going to discuss it in detail. Don't worry. Phi is the phase constant. Right? T is obviously time. And X is displacement from mean position. Okay. Till here, any doubts? Whatever I have explained, is it okay? Now let us discuss individual term one by one. Okay. Let us discuss individual term one by one. So what are the terminologies? First of them is amplitude, which is very easy for all of you now. Capital A, that is the maximum displacement from mean position. Maximum displacement from mean position. Okay. Or we can say displacement between mean and extreme position, whichever you find comfortable, you can use. The second term, which is very important, is phase. I think phase. Everybody must have encountered some or the other, question or problem associated with phase. Now, phase is the argument of sine function. Now, what exactly does it mean? Argument of sine function means whatever is written along with sine. Whatever is written along with sine in brackets, that is the argument of sine function. Okay. So this will give you phase of SHM as omega t plus phi, right? Yeah, you can actually convert it into cos, not a problem. Yeah, you can convert it into cos, just add pi by 2. That will give you the cos function. Okay. So this is the phase of SHM. So bachcho, phase of SHM1, if that is equal to omega 1 t plus phi 1, and phase of SHM2, if that is given as omega 2 t of phi 2, then what is phase difference? Phase difference is another important term, that is nothing but difference of these two phases. So that will be omega 1 t plus phi 1 minus omega 2 t plus phi 2. Is it okay? That will give you the answer of phase difference. So English में phase difference means phase difference of phase. So phase 1 minus phase 2. That is the phase difference. Okay? Is it fine now? Is it okay? Do let me know if there are any concerns. I think it is very clear, very interesting, and basic ideas of SHM we are going to discuss today. So I hope this is clear, right? Now, next term. But your next term is angular frequency, that is omega. Angular frequency, that is omega. Now we can define angular frequency by a number of ways. Number one, that is rate of change of phase. Rate of change of phase. Now whenever it is written rate of change of phase, it means with respect to time. Okay. So omega is nothing but omega is equal to d by dt of phase. So that will be equal to d by dt of omega t plus phi, which will give you the value as omega, right? I hope this is okay. Phi is a constant, so it gets removed on differentiation and you will get omega. Second definition is omega is natural frequency of system. Natural frequency of system. So what is the natural frequency? It means that whatever the time period is associated with that system, you can get it using omega. So time period is equal to 2 pi by omega. So once you fix omega, if omega is fixed, then the time period is also fixed. And whatever once you fix the system, then the omega is also fixed. So natural frequency means once you fix the system, then the omega is also going to get fixed, and that will be the natural frequency. Okay. What else formula do we need to remember? Frequency is 1 upon time period, and time period in English we can write as this is for beta class 11th, giving J 2022 time period, time taken for one oscillation, right? Time period is time taken for one oscillation. And frequency, bachcho, frequency is something which you are familiar with so many years. Can anybody quickly give me the what is the definition of frequency? What is the definition of frequency? Right from class 5th, you have been given only one definition of frequency, and that works throughout your life. Can anybody quickly tell me what is the definition of frequency? Number of oscillations in 1 second. Number of oscillations in 1 second. That works everywhere, right? So, so frequency means number of oscillations per second. That will be a great definition to work with, and I hope this is fine. Now, bachcho, what else is remaining? Phase constant. Phase constant. So phase constant is phase of body or mass at t is equal to 0. Now, basically it gives you an idea. So phase, also phase, in phase, you can also remember that phase gives an idea about, phase gives an idea about location of mass, WRT mean position, right? So once you know the value of phase, if you substitute the value of omega t plus phi, you quickly get what is the displacement of body with respect to its mean position. So that is the idea of phase. And phase constant gives an idea of body, gives idea of location of body at t is equal to 0. Understand that x equal to a sine omega t plus phi. So if you put the value of time as 0, then quickly you get x as a sine phi. So if you know the value of phi, you understand what x is going to be. So it gives you an idea where the body is located at t is equal to 0. So bachcho, if you know these things, please solve this question for me. Okay, solve this question, and it has 3 parts. So I've written it on separate pages because the difficulty will keep on increasing once you understand and start solving. The first one is very easy. I hope it brings a smile on your face. If somebody is asking you amplitude, if x is given and everything is given and they are asking amplitude, then it should make you cry in happiness, right? This is the general equation, and they are asking amplitude, time period, maximum velocity, angular frequency. Please give me the accurate answers of all of them at once. Give 5 answers at once separated by comma. Beta, we are also going to practice JEE questions, but let us discuss something more in SHM first, right? Today we are only going to discuss about equation of SHM. So this is like discussing a complete chapter, okay? This is for class 11 students. So this is giving you an idea of how we are going to study once the year-long courses will start, right? So this is how we are going to plan ahead. This is how you study a chapter from basic to extreme detail. So just enjoy solving this question, and we are also going to discuss JEE advanced questions and mains questions, and some more different variety of questions in the upcoming classes, right? Please solve it. So amplitude obviously is 2. Amplitude is no doubt 2 meter. Time period is 2 pi divided by omega, and omega is bachcho pi divided by 3, so that gives you time as 6 seconds. Please check. What else? Maximum velocity. So V max, bachcho, now V max, if you observe the formula for velocity, here is the formula omega root a square minus x square. So V max is for x equal to 0, right? Because x equal to 0 will give the maximum value. So omega a omega, that is the value of V max. And a omega 2 pi by 3 meter per second. Please check. Angular frequency is obviously pi by 3 radian per second, and natural frequency is 1 upon time period, that is 1 by 6 hertz frequency, right? The natural frequency is omega, hertz frequency. Yes, bilkul beta, this is for JEE for sure. This is for JEE mains advanced, and it is also relevant for your school. There is no exact bifurcation that this is a chapter for boards, this is for mains. It does not work like that. You basically have to understand the concepts in detail. Only then you are going to do well in your exam. So don't worry. Next, how many times will particle cross its mean position? So let me draw the write down the equation again. X equal to 2, I think. 2 sine pi by 3t plus pi by 3. This is the equation, I think. Yeah, in meter. So tell me, how many times will the particle cross its mean position till 1 second? So we can understand what is going to happen over here. Just like we discussed in spring mass system, the mass is going to go away from its mean, reach its extreme. It will come back to its mean. It will exceed the motion. It will again go like this. Can you relate this type of motion? This is what SHM will be. This is its mean position, and these two are going to be bachcho the extreme positions, right? So the particle is going to perform an oscillatory motion with respect to its mean. Okay. Yeah, beta, you can. Okay, see. So nice job. I think DG, you are correct in your first part. For second part, try. How many times will the particle cross its mean position? Good answer, SS. I think you are correct. It won't. Think why. And if you have got the answer as 0, also find out how many times will it cross till t is equal to 10 seconds. Okay. How many times will it cross till t is equal to 10 seconds? So, bachcho, if we think about it, how many times? So this has to be an integer, right? The answer can be 0, but otherwise it has to remain integer. It cannot be a fraction. So what we can say over here, at t is equal to 0, where is the particle? Let us put t is equal to 0 over here. So the particle is at 2 sine pi by 3. Now pi by 3 is 60 degree. So that will give you x as root 3 meter. Please check. And this is positive root 3, right? So the positive root 3 means that this particle is over somewhere over here. Here is the particle at t is equal to 0. Now what will happen? The particle will go towards right and then it will start going towards left. Although bachcho, this is not a uniform motion, but we can actually convert 1/4 part into uniform motion because they are so symmetric. So we can say that the time period we have already calculated is 6 seconds. So we can say, that the time taken, and let me draw the diagram even bigger. So this is the mean position and these are the extreme positions, right? So this is the starting point. Okay, starting point. This is suppose the starting point. This is the location at t is equal to 0. Now understand that we can say from symmetry, bachcho, that if the particle has to move from here to here, that is symmetric as compared to motion from this point mean to extreme and then from extreme to mean and mean to extreme. So these 4 segments are very similar in velocity and acceleration. Okay, so we can say that time taken to go from 0 to a, or from a to 0, or from 0 to minus a, or from minus a to 0, that will be same and equal to t divided by 4, and this t divided by 4 is 1.5 seconds. Please check bachcho. So if we consider this point 1, then time to go from 1 to 2 is actually equal to 1.5 seconds. Now you are given only 1 second. So how can the particle go from 1 to 2? It's not possible in 1 second, and therefore the answer will be equal to 0 for t is equal to 1 second. There won't be any time, there won't be any crossing the mean position in the first second of motion. Is it fine? Think about it, bachcho. Is it okay? Do you understand it? What will be the number of times the particle crosses the mean position till t is equal to 10 seconds? Can anybody give me the answer for t is equal to 10 seconds? Please check. Please think. So the time taken to go from 1 to 2 is 1.5 seconds. From 2 to 3 is another 1.5 seconds. From 3 back to 2 is another 1.5 seconds, and so on. So I haven't got the correct answer yet. Nobody has given me the correct answer. Please think. No beta, it won't be 6 times. So let me think, let me relate, So let us think, at what time will it be at 1? Let us calculate that first. So we can say that, when x is equal to plus 2, and if we assume that this is also, it will be reaching its positive extreme over here. It will be reaching its positive extreme when this angle is going to be pi by 2. Think about it, bachcho. When x by 3t plus pi by 3 is equal to pi by 2, particle is at plus a for first time, right? So if you just solve this, bachcho, then this time comes out to be half second. Now half is 0.5 बच्चों, so इसका मतलब the particle is at this point at t is equal to half second, t is equal to 0.5, right? Still the answer is not correct, and it reaches over here at t is equal to 2 seconds. You can add 1.5 to 0.5, it will be 2 over here. Then it will be at 0.3 at t is equal to 3.5 second. It will be at 2 at t is equal to 5 seconds. It will reach over here at t is equal to 6.5 seconds, right? And finally it will reach over here at t is equal to 9.5 seconds, bachcho. And at t is equal to 10, it will be somewhere over here, right? T is equal to 10, it will be somewhere over here. Then for how many times did it cross the mean position? Let us calculate. First time over here, right? For the first time it had crossed over here. Second time it had crossed over here, and the third time it has crossed over here. So we can definitely say that the particle crosses 3 times for t is equal to 10 seconds. Please check, bachcho, is it okay? Is it okay? Please check. Is it correct? Is it fine? Now what is the third part? Distance covered by the particle till 8 seconds. Oh my god. So let me draw the same diagram again. Maybe you can actually get the answer very quickly. If I draw this diagram again, let me write down where was it located. At t is equal to 0, the particle was here. Then t is equal to 0.5, it reached over here. Everything is in seconds. Then at t is equal to 3.5, it reached on the left. At t is equal to I think 6.5 it reached over here, and t is equal to 8. It will be at the mean position because it takes 1.5 seconds all the time to cover amplitude distance, right? So tell me how much distance it has covered from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 8 seconds. What is the answer, bachcho? Without any mistake. I'll also write down the equation again for your reference. X is equal to 2 sine pi by 3 t plus pi by 3. So what is the value of distance till 8 seconds? What is the answer? Anybody? Any answer? 16. Close but not correct, beta. It's close but not correct. You cannot use distance equal to speed into time in SHM. I have already told you that don't use such type of things. Okay. If you have assumed some sort of speed and just multiplied it by 8, we cannot do that. Any other answer? Any other attempt? It's not going to be an exact integer. That is for sure. It's not going to be an exact integer. What is this distance? Anybody? What is the distance? If I ask you the distance from t is equal to 0.5 to t is equal to 8 seconds. Can anybody tell me in terms of amplitude? What is the distance in terms of amplitude? Now over here, if you observe, it has covered a distance, then it has covered a more. So this becomes 2a. Then this 2a is also there. This becomes 4a, and it comes back by a. So definitely the distance from t is equal to 0.5 to t is equal to 8 is 5a. Check, bachcho. Is it okay? Please check. Does it make sense? Is it fine? It's a very interesting question. Here A stands for amplitude. Okay, we will put the value of amplitude later. Yeah. And if we observe, bachcho, we just have to add this thing now. If we assume that this is suppose A, then total distance equal to 5a plus chota a. Now what is chota a? What is small a over here? This distance is how much? Now see, we have already calculated that at t is equal to 0, x is root 3. That means this thing is root 3. So what is a? We can write a as a minus root 3. Think. Can we write this as a minus root 3? So this will give you the value of distance as 6a minus root 3. Now a is nothing but 2 minus root 3. That will give you approximately 10.27 meter. Please check. Is it fine? Does it make sense? Any doubt in this? Think about it. It's an amazing problem. Is it fine? Any concern, any doubt, anything you want to ask? So if you have understood this, can you tell me what is the displacement till 8 seconds? What is the displacement till 8 seconds? GM and SS. Let me see. Displacement till 8 seconds. What is the answer? You don't have to calculate, just look at the screen to give me the answer. Any answer? What is the displacement till 8 seconds? What is the answer going to be? No, it's not 0. Look at the diagram, look carefully. At t is equal to 0, the particle is over here. At t is equal to 8, the particle is over here. It's basically a single straight line, right? The particle is oscillating like this. It's not actually an intestine type of a curve, okay? It's a straight line. So if the particle started from this point and it is right now at the mean position, then what is the displacement? Plus 3 or minus 3? Sorry, plus root 3 or minus root 3? Plus root 3 or minus root 3? Minus root 3. Obviously, right? Minus sign tells me that I have gone back. I have gone in the negative x direction. That will give you the displacement. Okay? Clear? Right? So, bachcho, there is another problem which I had brought for you guys, but I think this is a question which you should try out yourself. This is a very beautiful question. So, what I will do, I'll give you this question as a homework, right? Solve this question as a homework, and tomorrow when we'll meet, the first thing that we'll do tomorrow is going to be discussing this question with you. Okay? Right? So, I want you guys to work on this question and come tomorrow. And then we will start our discussion on velocity, acceleration, and graphs in SHM. Right? So, did you enjoy today's class? Did you learn something new? So, we discussed all the derivations which are associated with equation of SHM, and also a couple of good situations in SHM. But day after tomorrow, when we will discuss phasor, I think you will understand SHM in a very different manner than what we have discussed today. Okay, so bachcho, tomorrow we are going to be continuing with our discussion on SHM, and you can attend class at 5 p.m. for Hindi version of the same class, and at 8 p.m. of the English version of the same class. Right? Okay, thanks DG, you revised a lot from today's class. Thank you. Thanks GM. Thanks AA. Thank you. Thanks SS. So, bachcho, I'll take your leave in that case, and we will meet tomorrow very soon. And if you're of class 12th, or you have, if you're of class 12th, you can obviously attend the crash course as well. Yes. In Hindi version, there is a discussion of this problem. Yes. We have the same slides. The only difference is that we are going to discuss in English at 8 p.m. and Hindi in 5 p.m. Okay, Rutvik, tomorrow is your birthday. So, a very happy birthday in advance to you, Rutvik. Thank you. Bye, PD. Bye. I think this is Siddhi. Thanks, beta. Thank you. Love you as well. Thanks a lot for all your love and affection. And we are going to discuss this question tomorrow, and we'll continue with our discussion of SHM. Okay. Thanks, SS. Thank you for your nice words. So, signing off, bachcho. Good night to all of you. Have a nice, tight sleep and study hard as well. God bless you all. Bye bye. Thanks, DG. Thank you. Thank you for your nice words. Bye, beta.
For detailed videos, daily practice problems and live chat, visit academy.amazon.in or download the app.